Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Aysha. If you're new here, I've been getting tons and tons of the same comments lately, and it's really made me just stop to think about exactly where I am in life right now, you know, what my true honest emotions are, and kind of how I even got there without even knowing. Those comments are about my happiness, and I think it definitely says a lot when the #1 comment that I have been receiving both on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube has been about my happiness. And it's taken a long while for me to get there, and I feel like it kind of maybe even felt like an overnight thing for a lot of people, even for myself. I mean, 7-8 months ago, I was in a really dark place, and it took me literally up until now to truly feel happy and content with where I am. And I have mentioned here and there on my channel that I wanted to share kind of like my heartbreak tips on how to achieve happiness, how to kind of move through a difficult situation, and I feel like today's that day. And the reason why I feel that is because one of my favorite, I guess, artists or writers on Instagram, Rainbow Salt, she just posted a story literally like 30 minutes ago, and it resonated so deeply with me. I'm gonna read it for you guys right now, and then I will of course get into, you know, the bulk of this video, but here we go. Bear with me, it is kind of long, but I think it'll be very insightful. I think we've been taught from such a young age that happiness is meant to be this big, all-consuming thing, that it is this moment that cracks open our bones and changes our lives and sweeps all of the weight inside of us away. That it's something that is awarded to us, gifted to us by the world. That it is something we are always in pursuit of until we find it. And so we're always waiting for this experience, this simplifying in life, this aha moment where the wounds are all healed and the growth is all organized neatly within our rib cages, and our hearts aren't afraid of loving anymore, and the warmth never leaves. But I don't think happiness is big or infinite at all. I think real happiness, true happiness, exists in the acceptance of the fact that we will always be balancing what is light and dark within ourselves. I think real happiness, true happiness, exists in the quiet, in the small things, in a morning cup of coffee, in my case matcha, in the sound of your mother's voice on the other end of the phone. I think real happiness, true happiness, is believing that you are meant to be here, that you are meant to take up space in this world. I think real happiness, true happiness, is finding the human beings who take care of you. Not in a materialistic way, but rather finding the human beings who take care of your soul, who take care of even the most chaotic parts of who you are. I think real happiness, true happiness, is all around you, at all times, pinned and blooming in the things you stopped paying attention to because you are always searching for more. Flowers on your walk to work, the intensity in the air when you meet someone and you know they're gonna change your life. The way your stomach flips when you hear your favorite song. The way your person's eyelashes feel as they blink across your neck when you're holding them. And I don't think happiness is something you find, or that it is this destination you get to where the night never comes and you are bulletproof and unaffected by the mayhem. I think the mayhem will always exist. No, I think happiness exists in the understanding that the pain holds just as much importance as the beauty. I think happiness exists in finding the things that make us feel known and special and at peace in this world, no matter how small or insignificant they feel, and letting them save us. I think happiness exists in learning how to embrace the dark, in learning how to see it as the very thing that makes us appreciate the light. Woo! Your girl is getting teary-eyed because I could not have summed up something more beautiful in a couple minutes than that one post. Now, I think the start to truly being happy in who you are and falling into the person you're supposed to be, or becoming that person you're supposed to be, is definitely, a lot of it has to do with self-awareness. And I think no one can be fully aware, fully self-aware, until they've done the work on themselves to really understand the feelings that they're going through and really understand why that situation is affecting them. Because I believe, you know, although we go through dark moments in our lives, those dark moments aren't us. They aren't our personalities. They aren't who we are as people. They're just experiences that are happening on us. They're just things that inevitably we're going to deal with in life. But at the very end of the day, that's not who you are. That experience isn't meant to put a label on you for the rest of your life. So before I get too deep into this video, because you know your girl loves to ramble, I do want to give a huge thanks to today's sponsor, BetterHelp. I have partnered with them in the past, but they have also been a service that I personally sought out during one of the darkest moments of my life in 2020. My therapist through BetterHelp literally changed my life. I know a lot of people say that, but I think without going to therapy, it's really hard to understand what an impact it will have in your life. But it truly had such a large impact, and I'm so thankful that I'm able to kind of partner with them now and just share the message even more. If you have no idea what BetterHelp is, maybe you haven't watched some of my past videos or the countless other YouTubers that have been partnering with BetterHelp before, it is professional therapy that is done online, which was the reason why I personally reached out to it. The thought of walking into someone's office and blurting out all of my problems and just my emotions and everything that I was going through seemed absolutely terrifying to me. So I love the idea of online therapy and the fact that I could just like call my therapist and not even have to FaceTime and just work through what I needed to work through. They will basically assess your needs and match you to a licensed professional therapist, and you can start communicating with them within 48 hours. I think I got matched in about 24 hours or less, so I actually started therapy literally the day after I signed up. And before sharing more, it's not a crisis line or a self-help line. If you do need those links, I will have them down below in case that is something that is more suited to you, but this is professional counseling and it's all done securely online. They have a network of over 15,000 counselors, so you can definitely find someone that is more suited to your needs, whether you want like personal counseling or maybe you want couples therapy. They have kind of like a broad range of expertise. And in case you are looking for an excuse to back out of therapy, it is available worldwide. Okay, so maybe you not be able to find a local therapist, but you can definitely find it on BetterHelp. You can also log into your account literally anytime, talk to your counselor. You can text your counselor through their little online portal, set up video calls, phone calls. Like I mentioned, I just did phone calls because I wasn't very comfortable doing FaceTime calls or anything, but they did have a photo of my therapist, so I at least knew what she looked like. BetterHelp is definitely very committed to making sure you get the best out of your therapy sessions. So if you are, you know, matched up with a counselor, maybe it's not the right fit, you can easily just find a new one, get matched up with a new one. I think I honestly got really lucky. I just had to go through one therapist and she was the one for me, but that's not the case for everyone. So definitely don't be shy to browse through different therapists to find one that is best suited for you, because that is literally the #1 goal through therapy. You definitely want to make sure you're matched with someone that will get you and you feel comfortable kind of sharing your feelings with. Traditional therapy is also a lot more expensive than I think people assume it to be. So I love the fact that BetterHelp is a lot more affordable, and they also have financial aid available. So obviously the theme of this video is about happiness. BetterHelp and your girl wants you to be happy, so definitely be sure to check out the link in my description. You can go to betterhelp.com. That's better H-E-L-P, not health, it's betterhelp.com/Aysha, and you'll be able to get a discount off your first month of BetterHelp. I believe it's like 10%. There's over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health, and why not add more, okay? We all need therapy. We really do all need therapy. Like, the people that think they don't need therapy are the ones that need it the most, so please get help and check out BetterHelp, okay? So anyways, while that may have seemed like a random little sponsorship ad placement, I do want to mention it is actually very, very genuine, because as I mentioned, if it wasn't for therapy, your girl wouldn't be where she's at today. I feel like it made me a lot more self-aware, and to this day, there's so many things that I learned in therapy, so many exercises that my therapist put me through, and I think the best thing that I got from it was like coping mechanisms. Just in case I do end up slipping and I'm not in the best state, I have now coping mechanisms that I know I can do to kind of get through those moments. And I think in general, it's just really healthy to talk to someone. But back to, I guess I'll start with heartbreak. Heartbreak is the #1 thing that basically every human can relate to in one way or another, whether that is, you know, a romantic heartbreak or a friendship heartbreak or a familial family heartbreak. I think it's familial. I think that's the term. There's just a lot of different heartbreaks that one can experience throughout a life, throughout the lifetime. And I think more than physical pain, heartbreak is one of the most painful things someone can go through. And naively, I had no idea what that felt like until I went through it myself. And I genuinely had to crawl myself out of this hole. And now looking back, I feel like I don't even remember when it was that I woke up one day and things started hurting less, but it eventually does happen. Now, it's clear that I'm a spiritual person, I'm a religious person, but I don't want to make this entire video all about religion. But I do want to quickly just mention right now that, you know, being a Muslim and just having my faith was probably the #1 thing that really helped guide me through the heartbreak. There was definitely a lot of things that I had to do outside of that, but I think just tapping into my faith, praying, making specific prayers, I think I've mentioned this before, about wanting to get over that heartbreak was so important to me. And I think having people in your life that will pray for you and pray for those moments of clarity for you are so important as well. Ooh, I'm getting some nice golden hour lighting from this reflection right now. One thing that has always helped distract me has been my work. I personally would call myself a workaholic, but in a healthy way. I like to throw myself into my work, especially when I'm going through something and when I'm stressed out, because it's the one thing that I can control. With heartbreak, you know, there's not much you can control in how your body reacts to it and how your mind reacts to it, but there are things that you can do outside of that that will really kind of help you. Oh my god, we're getting real bright over here. I don't even get golden hour lighting in my apartment. It's just a reflection from the building across from me. But I'm not complaining, I look cute. Like I said, throwing myself into work, getting back onto my health grind really helped, going on hikes. I think another thing that really helped with my heartbreak was understanding that the feelings that I was feeling in that moment were gonna pass. Just think about where you'll be a year from now. There were so many times that I would mention in my therapy sessions, like, ugh, I just want to fall asleep and like not wake up till a year from now when all of this is over. But that's not realistic, because every day you're gonna have to put in the work to get to where you want to be, regardless of what you're going through, whether that be heartbreak, whether that be, you know, a job promotion or whatever. The easiest thing to do is obviously to hide away and just wait till things pass. But the true happiness comes from really putting in that work and really just, you know, making yourself proud. Okay, my camera cut out, so I totally lost my train of thought. There's not really one way you can just get over it. It kind of just gradually happens, and then one day without realizing it, you'll just wake up and not even think about that person anymore, not think about that situation that gave you that heartbreak. And it's such a freeing feeling, and I can't even tell you exactly when that happened for me. I feel like distractions are amazing when you don't want to deal with something that is going on internally in your mind or in your life or whatever it is. And that's not a long-term fix, obviously. I feel like something like therapy, as I mentioned earlier, is probably the best thing that you can do for yourself, but distractions are always welcome. And whether that's you're distracting yourself with your work, you're distracting yourself with working out and getting fit again, you're distracting yourself with food, which may or may not be great, but I mean, great for the soul. Or you're distracting yourself with another person. Like, sometimes the best way to get, you know, over a situation is just putting yourself out there again, talking to new people, just realizing that you aren't gonna be defined by your heartbreak for the rest of your life, because everyone goes through them. Like, I got it so in my head personally that I was never gonna be able to even talk to another person again, or another person wouldn't even be interested in me because, God forbid, I had a past. And then you wake up and realize, who doesn't have a past? Like, how dare someone hold your past against you when they have things that you can hold against them? Sun's reflection is slowly going away, so we're getting back to regular lighting, although that glow is quite nice. Aside from that, definitely surrounding yourself with people that love you is so important. And for me, it was surrounding myself with my family, with my friends, like just people that will not remind you of a situation and will just be there for you, and be there to distract you, and be there to just make you happy and make you laugh and take you out for ice cream and make sure you're eating. Making sure you're eating is a number one, because I think I literally lost 7 to 8 pounds the first week of my breakup or my divorce, like literally, and that's never happened in my life. So you know I was going through it. Understanding that what you're going through right now is not gonna last forever. It may seem like it's gonna last forever. It may seem like you're never gonna be able to smile again. You're not gonna be able to go through a day without crying, but that's not the reality. The reality is that we're promised that when hardship comes ease, or with hardship comes ease. And it's important to note with, because it's not that you're gonna go through a hardship and eventually the ease is gonna come. Sometimes the ease is kind of weaved through all of the hardship, and you have to ensure that you're grateful for all of that and that you're taking note of all of those peaceful moments within the chaos as well. Whether that peaceful moment is waking up and making your matcha for the day. Sorry, I get emotional anytime I talk about anything real. A peaceful moment may be going on a hike in the morning, not listening to music and just hearing the birds chirping. You know, another peaceful moment is going on walks. These are all things that I personally did. The matcha moments that you guys all saw me doing, you know, throughout the end of last year and the beginning of this year, those were all my peaceful moments of the day. And I chose to share them because it brought me joy. Oh, another one of the peaceful moments that I did, especially through the thick of my heartbreak, was making flower bouquets. If you guys remember, there was a point in time in the late summer / early fall that I was making bouquets literally every week, and it was something that brought me so much joy because it was something that I could do for myself, you know, have an end result that looks beautiful, and you know, it'll just be a reminder throughout the week. Every time I see those flowers, I know I did that for myself, and I know that was a peaceful moment for myself. And I did that every single week, and you know, I don't do it as much anymore, but anytime I do, it still brings me so much joy. So honestly, it is the small things. It's the small things that you do every day that account to bigger things, and eventually you get to the point where all of those small things have just become a reality in your life. Like, they are the things that bring you joy, and the things that bring you pain don't really take as much precedent anymore in your day. Every day may not be good, but there's something good in every day. So it's important to make sure you chase those good moments in every day and remind yourself of them. Happiness is definitely not a destination. It's so lovely hearing comments from all of you saying how happy I look and how happy, you know, I've seemed lately, and just I feel lighter, and these are all comments that I'm getting from you guys. And I think it's really interesting when other people take notice or take note of how or what type of energy you exude. I'm not exactly sure what type of energy I exuded when I was in the thick of my heartbreak, but it's so refreshing to hear that again. I literally just had to take a break because I got so emotional, but what I was saying was there was a moment in time months ago that I prayed for the day that I would wake up and I would feel peace and I would feel happiness, and I finally gotten to the point where I am there, and it's such a freeing feeling, and I just want to make sure that everyone knows no matter what you're going through, you are going to get to that point as well, because pain, it won't last forever. So anyways, I think it's also important to note that you really do have to choose to be happy. It can be really easy to feel pity for yourself, feel bad for yourself, feel like you deserve to wallow and sit in bed all day and be depressed and all of that. Like, you may try to justify those actions and just say, well, I just went through this traumatic experience, so I have to be feeling this way. And the truth is, no, you don't. You don't have to be feeling unhappy. And my cheat through life, my cheat quote through life has always been fake it till you make it. And I've said this literally for years on my channel. No matter what position I'm in, whether it's my career, whether it's, you know, school or anything, it's fake it till you make it. And even with happiness, you have to fake your happiness until one day it becomes real, because your mindset really is everything. If you think positively, if you think to yourself, I'm gonna have a happy, positive day today, you're gonna focus more on the positive things and the happy feelings that you did feel rather than the negative. So it's really important to make sure what you're saying to yourself, what you're thinking to yourself is positive things. And I'm really blessed to say that, like, I've always been able to kind of think that way. I don't think it's easy for everyone, especially, you know, if you're clinically depressed, especially if you just haven't found those coping mechanisms yet. But at the very least, switch those negative thoughts into positive ones, because instead of saying, but what if it doesn't work, think about, but what if it does work? What if all of the things you want, all of the things you can imagine are going to happen? Like, you believe that they are going to happen. It's a lot easier to work through those issues when you have a positive outlook rather than a negative one. So just ensure that what you're telling yourself every day is something that you would want other people to tell you about yourself. You also have to remind yourself of all of the things you loved to do before that moment of darkness. If you really loved going to the beach, if you really loved traveling, if you really loved hanging out with your friends, if you really loved cooking, you have to get back into those habits. I know it can be really difficult to not want to do anything, but you really kind of have to force yourself to sometimes. I literally was going to the beach every other day for a long time because it was something that truly brought me happiness. It was something that I could get myself out of the house, get myself out of that environment of negativity and just do something for myself. And, you know, hitting up your friends and saying, let's go play tennis this day, or let's go out to eat this day, or let's go to the beach together, whatever it is, just getting yourself out there and putting yourself in the position that you were before that dark moment is gonna really, really help. And I really hope I'm making sense here, but right now I can say I'm absolutely content in the feeling of happiness that I'm at. I know that there's a lot of other things that I could attract into my life, or there's a lot of other things that I would love to have going on in my life that would make me happier, or that could give me a lot more happiness. But regardless of all of that, I'm still very happy and content with where I am. And it's really important to ensure that you're at that place, because as that little quote that I mentioned in the beginning, happiness is never going to be a destination. I think it really is just a fine balance, because throughout life, you're going to go through trials and tribulations, whether it's heartbreak, whether it's dealing with death, whether it's a sickness, whether it's a freaking panoramic and you're stuck inside the house for 9 months. Whatever it is, you're going to go through dark moments, and it's important to just be content with where you are and ensure that you know that you're always going to be happy at the end of the day. You know that eventually, you know, whether it takes a day, 2 days, a week, a year, years from now, you know you're going to reach happiness. You know you're going to feel happy again. Okay, now I feel like I'm honestly just rambling, so I'm probably going to wrap this video up a little better. I probably could have framed this video a lot better, to be honest. I just wanted to honestly speak from the heart and speak to you guys as if I was speaking with my friends, because quite honestly, we have these conversations all the time with my friends and family, and it really is therapeutic. And you know, just if there's anything you get out of this video, just know with every hardship does come ease. You are going to be happy one day, and you are going to look back at all of the hardships and you're going to be extremely thankful for them. And I know that sounds like absolutely mad, but you're going to be thankful for them because it made you stronger. It made you into the person that you are today. I feel like who I was a year from today is so different than the person that I am now. And I'm in love with the person that I am today, because I know everything she had to go through to get to where she is today, to where I am today. And that's something to really admire. So admire yourself, love yourself, give yourself grace, do things you love, find little things in every day that make you happy, because guaranteed, no matter what you're going through, there's going to be something in that day that made you smile. Thank you guys for listening to my thoughts. Hopefully, you know, this video helped someone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you want me to do more of these girl chats videos as well. We'll definitely be open to it. And if there are any other specific topics you guys would like me to hit, then please sound off in the comments below. If you have any tips for happiness, how you got through a dark moment in your life, definitely continue the discussion in the comments as well. I know a lot of you love to read through them, as do I. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Thank you for just everything. Thank you for leaving such sweet comments and reminding me that the person that I am today is someone to love. Like, it's someone that I'm so proud of and someone who just exudes happiness, and that's truly all I could want in life. It really is. So I love you guys. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone.